So welcome everybody. Let me just give YouTube and internet a little bit more time. All right, welcome everybody, and can you hear me okay? All right. Can you hear me okay, Joyce? Denise?
I can, yep. Glad to be here, Jacqueline.
All right. All right, so I'm doing something new. Sometimes when Facebook gives us challenges, we try something new. So welcome to YouTube, Facebook, and Zoom all at once. So I'm Jacqueline Kane, Medical Intuitive. Thank you so much for being here. Today in my Facebook group, Healing Circle by Jacqueline Kane, I'm doing 100 days of self-love. And today is day 62. And I wanted to talk about hypnosis and how much I love hypnosis, because it's helped me at times to quiet the chatter in my head and get back on track to what my goal is. So today I thought I would bring on Denise M Simpson and talk about hypnosis, because she's the hypnosis queen. So Denise, can you introduce yourself to everybody?
Sure. So Denise M Simpson of Courageous Heart and formerly of Awesome Life Coaching. And I am a certified hypnotist as well as a coach, speaker, and author. And so, yeah, I got certified back in, what it was, 2011, 2012 timeframe. Probably actually might have even been 2013, because in 2011 I was going to hypnotherapy for myself. So yeah. I coached, entrepreneurs, business owners, professionals, how to heal their trauma, but also focus on courageous heart writing to create an impact, leave a legacy, and generate profits. So there's a bunch of things I do.
Yes. Yes. Well, once we're on a roll, once we're healing ourselves and clearing all this stuff up, it's fun, right? So then we want everybody else to get the results that we're getting, right?
Absolutely. Because after experiencing the power of hypnosis, hypnotherapy for myself, and it just seemed to work like magic. And I actually, do you want to hear a little story from when I was 10 years old?
Yeah.
So my first experience with hypnosis was when I was 10 years old, and my family owns a lake house on a lake up here in New Hampshire. And our renter was a dentist, and he used hypnosis for his dental clients, patients. So I was so curious about it, and I asked him to hypnotize me so that I could swim better. And honest to God, it worked like a charm until I tried to hypnotize myself without knowing what I was doing. And that seemed to break it a little bit. Now, self-hypnosis can work when you're trained to do it correctly. So I don't want to give people the wrong idea that you cannot perform self-hypnosis, but work with a certified hypnotist first to learn the correct way to do it. But I could swim stronger, longer, and further out from shore and felt confident doing it.
It's amazing what it does. So can you share with people why it works and how it works?
Yeah, so hypnosis works with the subconscious part of the brain, that limbic system that's down in the brain stem, versus the neocortex and the cortex, which is the most advanced part of our brain, but it's the thinking part of our brain. And science has proven that 80 to 90% of our behaviors every single day come from the subconscious versus the conscious.
Mm.
So most of us, all of us, I would say, have grown up with limiting beliefs of one thing or another. And based on traumas in our life, whether they're big traumas like an accident or little traumas, just the day-to-day stuff that happens, we form our identity during our younger years before 10 years old. It imprints on our brain from our families, our teachers, our society, our religious institutions. All of that helps us form who we are, but it may not be who we truly are. So hypnosis goes into that subconscious beliefs, and that's where we can transform and reprogram our brain, the actual neurostructure. It's called neuroplasticity. And then that's how we overwrite these patterns. And
Mhm.
that's what gives us more expanded capacities, more confidence, more success. That's how I would explain it works.
Yeah, and that programming is so strong, right? It's amazing how strong it is. Um, I know you and I met about 10 years ago in a coaching program, and we've been working on all these things. And there are some things that are still, some beliefs and programming that are still holding on tight.
This is true. This is true. And it shows up in our adult years. How's that working for you is one of the catchphrases I use with my clients, and I coach people globally. How's that working for you? Because people come to a coach when they want a higher level of success, when they want better health, when they want to live pain free, which is what Jackie specializes in. They want to write their book. That's what I'm specializing in these days. And there's that belief that they can't,
Mhm.
or they procrastinate, or the inner critic, that voice in the head, the inner critic says, "You're not good enough. Who do you think you are?"
Mhm.
That's all the programming. And that can be worked on. You do not have to stay limited by that. So
Yeah.
that's what Jackie and I specialize on in our own ways. And we were actually friends and a great support for each other. So coaches need coaches too.
Yes. And having supportive people around you are so important, because the other thing is that when you have those other parts of you, those other voices running your bus, I call it,
Mhm.
like who's running my life today, right? And when your saboteur, your inner critic is running your life, the situations and circumstances that show up, that's the energy that you're creating your new experiences from.
Absolutely. So some of the tech issues this morning, that was my saboteur that was saying, you know what, don't show up too big, don't be too
Mm.
visible. So even as a very accomplished coach, and I get phenomenal results with my clients, I'm still dealing with my subconscious and those patterns and beliefs.
Yeah.
But guess what? We scheduled it an hour later. I worked out the kinks on my end. I did some tapping, which is one of the tools I use. And here we are, flowing and streaming.
Yeah. So it's not to say that these voices in us will never show up, but we've learned the tools and techniques to heal them and clear them so that we can get done what we want to get done.
Yes, absolutely. And whether it's pain, whether it's writing, whether it's life, whether it's business, being an entrepreneur, everyone gets challenged. And even right now with Boulder, Colorado, the shootings,
Mhm.
everyone's challenged. COVID's challenging, right? But how do we respond to it? When
Yeah.
I say, how's it working for you? That means, what's your capacity to handle the challenge? What's your level of resistance? What's your ability to see it from a different perspective and have courage to take action, have the confidence to believe in yourself, and then generate results that are more aligned to your goals as a fully functioning, empowered adults? And when
Right.
people feel that gap between who they are currently but who they'd like to be. That's where the coaching comes in. And that's where hypnosis can really help
Yeah.
change the energy that Jackie's talking about.
Yeah.
So results can be different.
Because when you're living in your CEO
Yeah.
and you break through each glass ceiling, right? Each wealth glass ceiling, each abundance wealth ceiling, there's new issues and new challenges to move through, right? But now you're looking at it as from a different energy.
From
You're
a
approaching it from a different way.
Yes, from a different energy, a different perspective, from expanded capacities, because it's a spiral of life. We're all on a hero's journey in life, and we go up the spiral. And from a soul level, your soul can be the core, right? So it's like you go up that spiral, and there may be a common theme for each age or for each stage. And it's like, oh, there's the theme. Oh, there's the theme. The people can change, the circumstances can
Yeah.
change, the details can change, but it's the same theme. And that's your soul speaking to you so that you can get grounded, centered, and know who your true self is. And that's when life can really start flowing so much better without all the struggle and the angst and the that's over here,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Because we've been there.
We've been there and it's so frustrating. And you're like, oh, they said do this and you would get that, but we never got the that.
And why do we not get the that? It's not from this. This is where people have spent thousands and thousands on coaches and programming and the next shiny object and the next best idea and the wanting to write the next book. And when they don't accomplish it, it's not because of this, the neocortex and the thinking brain in the cortex. It's the subconscious brain that's throwing up the blocks.
Yeah.
The ones we know about are the shadow voices and inner dialogue, or the blind spots we have. We don't even know what we don't know. So how can you fix what you don't know?
And that's sometimes why we just have to hire somebody, right? Because that's why they're called blind spots. Yeah.
That's right. And from Jackie's and mine, we're both highly qualified. We've got expertise in a realm and a vast treasury of methods to customize treatments as well as run groups. And both of us, I know, get phenomenal results. So that's why you do want to hire a coach. The question to ask is, and been there, done that. How long do you want to sit with what's not working?
Yeah.
Right? Because I was sitting and spinning for years, and justifiably so to a point. My mom died in 2007. I went into a major depression, suicidal ideation, and I pulled myself out of it. How? By tapping in hypnosis and other holistic healing modalities. But otherwise, I was stuck in my stories, the chatter from the mind, the same stories, the same story. God loved Jackie because she heard it ad nauseam. Right? But finally, it's like, it's not working. And I had to break that pattern. And I finally changed the stories in the mind and worked with the subconscious. And that's what got me to up level. So
Yeah.
I know it's possible for everyone who's watching and everyone who will watch this.
Yeah.
We've done it. We're human beings. So it is possible. But it requires some fortitude. I call it the courageous heart, but it's possible. And then again, life flows better. It's easier. There's so much less of that struggle.
Yeah. Yeah. So let's talk for a few minutes. We won't keep everybody too long, but let's talk about what happens when you're in the ease and flow of your soul's journey, your heart's journey, right? What happens when you get there?
Yeah, so in my Courageous Heart writing group, we start out by creating the sacred community with a meditation, which is a mini hypnosis, and most times it lasts even 5 minutes, but I connect people down to the earth, to the creative life force of Gaia, Mother Earth, and then up to their 15th chakra level. not just 7 chakras, folks. It's 15 chakra levels. And Jackie's trained in this as well. We've been soul sisters on our journey together,
Yes.
right? But that's where we can get connected up to the subtlest, highest divine energies. And then your soul is actually on level 8, your Akashic records. So it's like there's levels above that. But when you connect both of those together, and they connect in the heart, and this is why having a defended, closed, tight heart from all those wounds we suffer in life, it blocks our creative energy. It blocks the creative energy wants to rise up, but it also blocks those divine downloads, those moments of inspiration that could be $1,000,000 ideas, like Jack Canfield with Chicken Soup for the Soul, right? So the healing work that we do helps to open the heart, and that's the midpoint between the physical form and then the soul, the oversoul, the avatar, and the rishi levels. And that, if I can just say this, that Greek symbol for the medicine, the 2 snakes, the caduceus it's called, that represents the energetic field rising up through the chakras and then down again. People miss that as well. The chakra energy, the divine energy down as well as up. And that's when you become fully empowered and manifestations come easier.
Yeah. And so when you're in that flow, for me, there are times when I could have a thought and it's appearing.
Yes.
Somebody, I have a thought or I remember somebody and they show up, they call, they send me an email, they text, money shows up, clients show up, vacations show up out of the blue, right? Life is just so easy.
Right. And, a year or so ago, I was doing a lot of networking back when we had in-person networking. And it seemed like I was winning the raffle gifts time after time, meeting after meeting. And some people even commented on it because it's like, Denise, you won again. But I was aligned. My energy was aligned to, oh, I want that. And boom, I got that.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah. And it was a lot of fun. And a lot of times, I also got those raffle gifts to give to my sister and brother-in-law, to give to other people. It wasn't always to keep for me, but it was just that energy alignment, like, that would be great. Life gets a lot more fun, folks. That's all there is.
It does. It does.
Yeah.
Sometimes we're the ones who are just getting in the way, and not us physically, but energetically and
that's when you're sitting over here spinning all that angst and suffering and the emotion you said. Yes, I agree.
So thank you so much, Denise. Let people know how they can get a hold of you and get in touch with you.
Sure. So if folks are interested in writing without writer's block, because I've got a #1 Amazon bestseller book on that, and go to bit.ly, and we'll stick it in the Facebook posting as well, but it's bit.ly/courageous heart writing 3. Okay. Or DeniseMSimpson.com. And just look for me on the web, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn is Denise M for Marie Simpson. You'll find me.
Awesome.
Yes.
Denise, thank you so much for being with us today and sharing all of this wisdom. So again, everybody, thank you for watching, and leave any questions or comments. Connect with Denise. She's amazing healer and writer and all of that. So have a great day, everybody.
Thank you, Jackie.